I said at one point, I said, I don't think you understand me. And he said, use smaller words. However, you have to tell them because they can't read our minds. We think they can.
Good point.
And they didn't read the same books. In fact, a lot of them haven't read any. Someone behind the scenes is clapping back there. People are going to start yelling, testify pretty soon. No, you have to tell them. They can't figure it out for themselves.
Well, if you want it.
Very simple that you want it and how you want it and when you want it.
Well, and I think there's another important part here, too. I think that women are used to men just coming on to them, and they're used to men taking the assertive role.
Right. So how do women learn to take the assertive role? What should they do?
Autumn? Do research. I read books. You know, that's how I learned how to have sex in the first place. I can only have it with myself and a book, but at least, you know, I got that part down.
What do you say to men when you want to tell them, you know,
I want it. I want it now.
Well, like, how about it?
You just say, how about it?
Well, it's not like I'm going around all the time to all men. I'm not going to go say, hey, you, hey, you, hey, you. Although, what would you say if I said, hey, you? Okay, never mind.
Okay, after he cleaned himself up, he probably...
Yeah, right. Anything is shave and, you know...
Forget all the talk stuff. Forget all the talk.
I think it has to be touching. I think it has to be reaching out. And I think that women have never learned how to touch men to turn them on.
Well, you know why? Because they understand that it's just like the restaurant business. There are only 3 words for having sex with a man. Location, location, location. Oh. In the right spot and often.
And what is the right spot? I don't know.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about the right spot in a little bit. We're also going to talk about this. There are fake diamonds, fake fur, fake leather, and you can be happy with all of those. But what about the big faux O? Faking orgasms and a whole bunch of other stuff when we come back.
Mothers have learned from countless doctors and pharmacists to take care of coughs with Robitussin. And they've taken this advice home. Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
It was the strangest thing. I came in from the garden and heard these bubbling sounds from the kitchen. On the stove was this hearty simmering pot of stew, chunks of beef, potatoes, carrots, and on the counter a can of Dinty Moore beef stew. It hit me. The big guy had been there, Dinty Moore, cooking his stew in my kitchen. Wasn't crazy about the huge thumbprint on the counter, but the stew was real satisfying.
Dinty Moore, the stuff that legends are made of.
Recently, I switched pain relievers from Tylenol to Advil. You see, I got these really pounding headaches. I found 2 Advil worked better than 2 Tylenol gel caps. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
You'll find your recliner at Self-Service Furniture because they have the largest selection in the West, all on sale now. And after they've delivered your new recliner, if you aren't completely happy with it inside of 14 days, don't bring it back. Call Self-Service Furniture. They'll pick it up. If it isn't damaged, they'll refund your money with a smile. Chairs that lean over backwards to make you comfortable. From a store that bends over backwards to make you happy. We have a reputation for the lowest furniture prices in the West. We defend it every day. Self-Service Furniture.
Who beats a Han deal?
Nobody!
We're out to sell over 100 Han vehicles by Monday night. To our Hanathon.
Our best offers in 69 years, because we're out to win the challenge.
Monday, all new Han vehicles up to $10,000 off. New 94 starting at $59.99. Free Han used vehicle up to $9,000 off. Prices start at $77. Plus buy with just $69 down. To our Hanathon. Through Monday at Steve Han's Performance VW Audi Suzuki and Han Chrysler Plymouth Mercedes-Benz BMW.
Men tell us what they really think about those sex surveys.
You're getting a little freaky on the show.
Tomorrow on the Bertice Berry Show. We're back. And real women are responding to sex surveys. Whew. Okay. You want them, but you can't always get them. What are they? Orgasms. Guess what percentage of women say that they always have orgasms or that they have orgasms? Well, we're going to tell you right now, 82% of all the women said that they have orgasms. The interesting thing about this is the why. I mean, you know, how often, I always ask this, well, I was a statistician, I go, well, how many? Okay, of those who had the orgasms, Joey, if you can show me D, 46% always have them, 36% occasionally have them, and 16 rarely have them. Ooh. Let's go to the real women first this time. What's going on here? 46% always have, 36 occasionally, 16. Autumn, where do you fall?
Well, first of all, what does 46 always have them? 46% of these respondents are constantly having orgasms? Always?
Shopping is what I'm having.
I'm having one right now.
Yeah, me too. It's a group orgasm kind of thing, simultaneously. Simultaneously, not multiple. No, it's the best way. It really is.
Richard Jenney has the funniest line. He said, women, you know how the cigarette pack says, don't smoke or else you'll have spontaneous things, and he's like, boop, having one right now. That's a good question. What does it mean? If you were to answer this kind of survey, and it said always have them, occasionally have them, rarely have them, would you know how to answer?
Oh, I would say always, just to be incredibly macho. That's what I would say.
Do you think that that's what happens, that sometimes...
There are women who actually always have orgasms.
Right, exactly. And I don't want to know them, and they probably wear like a size 3 dress, too, you know?
Well, I came of age in the 70s when there were whole manuals telling you how to have orgasms. You know, it was a mandate. You had to learn how, and I learned very well.
I learned from the manual,
Oh,
too.
so are you in the
I learned
always
well.
have?
Yeah.
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 Do I have to sit next to her?
I am too in the always have.
Well, here's an interesting thing. What percentage of the women do you think fake orgasms? Joy, we're going to look at that. It's E. 61% said that they fake orgasms.
Now, they don't fake them all the time. We asked the question, have you ever faked an orgasm? 61% have faked an orgasm.
I think that everyone has done
I do
that
too.
at some point.
I think 100%.
Because after a while, it's just like, all right, he's not going to leave me alone until this is over.
Sorry?
I just said,
Yeah.
I just said that I have.
All right.
Whoa, we're breaking new ground here. That's something we don't hear.
I know.
We don't hear
I think men do fake them too. Wow.
We don't. Now, Autumn, I read in your pre-interview that you have faked and can do it quite well.
But I fake only professionally. In my personal life, and this will be reassuring to my boyfriend. In my
Professional life? Explain that to me.
Well, during a very illustrious phase of my career, I wrote porn scripts for the 976 numbers, which consisted mainly of, ooh, it's so big, ooh, it's so hard, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh was like, you know, every other word.
Oh, I was convinced by that. Yeah.
And throbbing rod, that was another thing that occurred
So you
frequently.
had to fake orgasms?
Well, I had to write these scripts, and then sometimes I had to, like, voice them. That was the technical term as well. And I got kind of good at this because they would say, no, you need to approach the top more gradually. You need to stay at the top longer.
How does it sound? I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, okay. I have to, like, put my hand over my face, or I have to put it somewhere. So might as well be over my face to do this. Okay.
I'm so scared by Autumn.
Shh, I'm being Meg Ryan. Okay.
Now, but see, that's not real. Would a man really believe that?
Yes.
Yes,
Would a
stand
man
up.
really believe
Is that
that?
it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that it for you?
That's so unreal because there's no, you know, get the cat out of the room. You know, ouch, get off my leg. You know, there's no reality there.
Orgasm, this is not
Bonnie,
foreplay.
when you got the respondents, why did they tell you the why, and what were some of the reasons they gave?
The main reason was to get the guy off. I mean, to get him to stop. It was like...
To get it over with.
To get it over with, yeah.
Too long.
It was
Like,
too
please,
long.
I have to do laundry. I have a life, you know.
So if this many people, if they're faking orgasms, why do they want sex more frequently then? The whole thing
Well,
is very
no, the other women didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Right.
That was actually the
male
this
ego. This brings us back to the beginning. It's faking interest in the guy in the first place, right? Going from
No, Ann Landers would think women want to be hugged and snuggled and all
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Sometimes you have to do the
sex.
big nasty to get it. And,
horrible turn for sex. It's the most beautiful moment of your life.
Or sometimes they do take too long.
They take too long.
it's like, please, you
Too
know.
long? What, can anything
20
be too
minutes,
long?
30 minutes?
At this point,
yeah.
I don't care
An
how long
hour.
it would take.
Too long.
You notice I'm just kind of standing here going... Go ahead, have the show. I'm just learning.
I don't think an hour is too long. You're automatically saying an hour is too long.
An hour is like you're getting the urinary tract.
You've got a
Yeah, an hour is like you have to call the doctor afterwards.
So did you all...
2 hours. I don't know, for everybody it's different, but it's too long for whoever it is.
So the women who respond to you, they say they don't want to hurt his feelings.
Right, this is ego.
But can you tell that these are the same women? That's a good question. Who said that they're not getting it enough?
No, we can't tell that they're the same.
You can't tell. So they're unhappy about it. They're tired of it. They say, just leave me alone. And how do they tell? I mean,
But see, now remember, this is women who have faked an orgasm.
Right.
These women aren't faking orgasms every time they have sex with a guy. They enjoy sex. They want more sex. But every once in a while, they fake an orgasm.
Right.
Okay, what of our real women respondents, what's the
I love being
funniest
called a
thing?
real woman.
You're a real woman.
We're real women, too.
Yeah, but you're the expert. Leave me alone.
We're all women. We're real women.
Oh, that's right. We're complete
We're
women.
complete women, as it were.
Of the real women, of our real women. Oh, you know I'm already frazzled. Just talking about it. Okay. So, of you, I mean, what is the funniest thing you've ever heard or said at the point of orgasm?
Can I tell you the funniest thing that a friend heard?
Yeah, sure.
Well, as being a comedian,
Yeah, I mean,
we spend a lot of time in hotels, and there's nothing ickier than hearing other people having a better time than you, okay? And this one friend said he was in a hotel, and this couple next door obviously was some sort of acrobatic something. Things were going on there for days. He was disgusted, yet compelled to listen. And all of a sudden, you know, the screaming stops, the hotel is once again quiet, and the woman yells, "You kidnappers are all alike." It was sort of
Very weird.
That was the little game that they were playing. They said, "Shut your mouth." That was just a little game that they were playing.
what are some of the stories you've heard?
About the same, about orgasms and things like that. Well, we didn't quiz them really on the orgasm thing, but...
Did you hear a lot about multiple orgasms? Was there a lot of response about multiple?
No.
Sorry, we didn't.
We had it in a little quiz form and everything. But people did, the interesting thing is...
It's the visual. In a little quiz form.
Multiple orgasm people had to write an essay, and
Yeah,
they didn't.
no, the truth is we had tons of essays about other things, about their sexual fantasies and their experiences. There were pages and pages and pages we had to go through. They went on and on. Okay, I'm going to tell you one of the funniest ones is I'm sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning reading the whole thing. One woman is writing about her sexual fantasies and experiences, and she goes, and now I'm getting turned on by writing this.
Okay. Planes, trains, and automobiles. The name of a movie? No. They're the places you've had your best sex, and we're going to talk about it when we come back.
You work hard. You deserve a vacation. Cal Spas invites you to take a great vacation in your own backyard. You'll enjoy a great spa all year round for life. Fun for the whole family. Rest and relaxation. Plus, a Cal Spa can increase the value of your home. Your vacation starts at Cal Spas this weekend.
Come see Central Washington Spas, your Cal Spa dealer in the Sundome, November 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Since cable arrived in Yakima, you've had no choice in cable companies. That has changed. Now you do have a choice. The choice is Northwest Cable Network. Because we are locally owned and operated, our first priority is customer service. We offer friendly customer service, easy installations, and programming like the Sci-Fi Channel, Cartoon Network, Home Shopping, and more. You do have a choice. Call today. Make your choice the Northwest Cable Network.
Are you a working adult but want your college degree? Now you can continue your work and get a degree at the same time. Yakima Valley Community College is now offering weekend college. Classes are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. You can earn an associate degree within 3 years by attending weekend college. Call YVCC at 575-2360 and find out how to register for weekend college. It could be the best decision you'll ever make.
Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett First, their secret wedding shocked the world. Now, they've shocked us again in the most romantic way. Our exclusive undercover video of Lyle and Julia's intimate moments tells a story of passion and romance you won't want to miss. Julia and Lyle, the love story continues on the next A Current Affair, the original and still the best in the business.
Today at 4 and tonight after Letterman on KIMA TV.
Responding to the sex surveys, and I was impressed that women actually wrote in and said some of the things that they said. I'm even more impressed that our guests today are saying them live and on TV, which is real great. Okay, we're talking about best sex right now, and you all got tons of letters about people describing the best sex that they had ever had. What was some of the most interesting letters, Bonnie?
Some of them involved like having sex in glass elevators, doing it on the beach. A lot of them were into the beaches.
These are not fantasies.
These are not fantasies. These are real things.
Everywhere.
Sand was an issue. Sand was an issue. My husband got a terrible case of poison ivy. I don't want to tell you about it. And we thought it was going to be one of those things, but it wasn't. It wasn't the best sex.
But the most bizarre story had to do with going to the beach and having a wonderful time with my boyfriend and taking our pet snake.
Whoa.
We didn't publish that one.
We didn't publish
You
that
didn't
one.
publish it, so you thought you'd share it with us.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is not me. No, that is not me. That was one of the readers.
Best sex you've ever had.
Well, it was great a few minutes ago.
With that guy, right?
Yeah. No, I'm still waiting. Although I did have unforgettable sex once in a cemetery in Boston. And I had written a book called Wild Women, actually, and there was a woman who was in the book who was buried in the cemetery, and I had sex like on her tombstone. Another person was involved. A living person was involved. And
that's always good.
And it was, yeah, I like it that way. And it was great. Actually, there's something, seriously, something kind of like death-defying about like making love, which can lead to making babies, you know.
I'll talk to her in the green room afterwards.
It's the circle of life. Yes, it's beautiful. Can you tell us from California?
By the way, I'm glad you pointed out that she had a live partner, because I practice environmentally safe sex. I always make sure that my partner is biodegradable.
Or at least degradable.
Oh,
okay. What is... one of you said that it was best with strangers, and I know a lot of people...
I'm the one who said that, okay? That,
well... You had your shot?
This was before AIDS. I'm talking about my past. I'm involved in a long-term relationship now, but I spent 9 years living in Aspen before the AIDS epidemic and having a wild, crazy time. And I always felt that a stranger, someone you just met, there was the wild excitement of the new, exploring someone, etc. Now, that's if you can separate love and sex. That's the best sex. Now, there's also the best kind of romantic sex, which is the kind that I have with my boyfriend, and that we built up for 8 months knowing each other, and then, you know, in front of the fireplace with beautiful music. So there's the two kinds of sex, but that's pure, raw sex, and I think it's best with a stranger.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to moan audibly. I mean, I have, since this happened, can I talk to you about this?
Yes, please.
Okay, because I saw the little man with the sign. My turn. And I actually have had a relationship, a long-term relationship, not now because, well, he was snatched by dingoes. But I was opening for a singer in Las Vegas, and it was really, really boring. And I just happened to meet a trumpet player who many years later my therapist said I had to use his name, but not on TV. And he did things to me. I mean, at first I kept saying, no, there will not be any penetration. There won't be any. And the next day, as I tried to stand up and then just had to kind of sit back down real quick, he kind of laughed at me. It was amazing. It was amazing. I kept him around.
Flashbacks?
Well, yeah. And every once in a while, I used to go see him just to kind of refresh my memory. And he was my serviceman for many years. He was my #1 serviceman, you know, and he did not wear a uniform, is all I can tell you.
Well, I think sex with strangers is like, it can be great because you can say anything, you can do anything. They don't know. You know, they haven't met your parents. And
they're not going to.
Carolyn, you brought up a good point, the point about when it's without romance. Do your writers tell you that the best sex is the most romantic sex?
Yeah, they still want.
Definitely.
But they still want romantic sex.
But every once in a while, see, the guys will, like, lie to you because, well, they're used to it. But I'm not bitter. But they don't need to do that. Men think that they have to do that, and they just don't need to all the time.
Okay, but I also read in the survey that women fantasize about romantic, kinky, stranger things with the person that they're in love with. What's going on here?
Yeah, little bottles of shampoo from hotel rooms really turn me on, because when you're married for 11 years, that's what you have to do. No sex is as good at home as it is away. You have to pretend that your husband is a stranger.
I don't think about Fabio ever. All right? Can I come right out with that? What is his story?
I don't like anybody who has better hair than I have.
Fabio could use some of those shampoo bottles.
You're right.
But they do need to jazz it up. I mean, I think when couples have been together for a long time, I mean, one of the things my boyfriend and I do is just spend several days apart because we have separate homes, and then the excitement builds up again.
Okay, people talk about the best sex and the worst sex. We didn't ask you what the worst was. Anybody want to share a worst sex story?
I think the worst sex is like with myself when I like get bored and I go to sleep.
Or maybe like when they make funny little animal noises and you just really can't get into it because you think, God, I wish I'd taped this to sell to him, you know?
My worst sex has always involved body odors that I notice during the act.
Yours or theirs?
Theirs, of course.
Okay, how do you make it better? How do, aside from staying apart for a while and coming back together, how do we make it more romantic, more wonderful every time?
You ask their last name.
You take vacations, like she said, vacation sex.
More romance.
More romance. And I think this is one place where women have to get into the romance area. We're used to being romanced. And I think women have to. One of the things I've done is make special music tapes from that my boyfriend and I like and have those on at certain times. And I think women have to start setting the stage.
So we've moved beyond the saran wrapping yourself and into things that are more romantic.
Negligees do work and those kinds of things. Men do
Well, not for me.
Well, don't use polyester. My bad. But they actually, I just forgot what I was going to say. I just was looking at all these cute guys in the audience, and I kind of forgot where I was.
It's okay.
Yes.
But special things, you know, by making it special on our own. I used to think, well, maybe if a guy's going to come, I shouldn't have too frilly of sheets or anything like that. And then a woman told me once that men like kind of frilly things because it makes them feel kind of wicked.
Yeah, not in their bedroom.
Not in
like
theirs.
it in your bedroom.
In your bedroom, they kind of like to, you know, snuggle up in there.
Okay, we've got more. Okay, tell me about this. Mel Gibson, Denzel Washington, and Katie Lang. What do all of these celebrities have in common? You're going to find out when we come back.
Now back pain doesn't have to ruin another night's sleep. Try Doan's PM. Doan starts with a unique pain reliever these brands don't have, then adds a second ingredient to help you sleep. Doan's PM for nighttime back pain.
It's simple. Healthy skin requires moisture. Lubriderm is the one created for dermatologists to restore moisture as it heals and protects. Lubriderm, because your basic instinct is to save your skin. See you later, alligator.
It's never fun to eat and run, to rush and eat too fast, 'cause you know it's gonna catch up with you at last.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
If you're going to be in the Chicago area and would like to be a part of our studio audience, call 312-604-TALK to reserve your seat. That's 312-604-TALK.
Attention! Walker's Furniture is overstocked with over $3 million of beautiful oak furniture, and truckloads are still arriving daily. Discounts have been taken to reduce our inventory, and right now we're offering no interest and no payments for 6 months. Like this 5-piece solid oak dining set from Vargas, right now only $8.99. Or check out the savings on all beautiful oak bedroom sets from Castle. If you've ever wanted a quality piece of oak furniture at a great price, visit Walker's Furniture today. But hurry, these prices won't last long.
There's something going on at Bemis Appliance and TV.
Guys, be gone a couple of weeks. Don't give the store away.
We would never do that. The Hitachi 4-head VCR with built-in head cleaner and illuminated universal remote, now only $299.
An RCA 8mm camcorder with 8-to-1 power zoom. Boss has gone priced at $599.
This RCA 20-inch stereo TV monitor with remote control and on-screen programming, just $299.
These prices are only good until the boss comes back at Bemis Appliance and TV.
Sometimes, even good girls and boys are left off Santa's list. With all the blessings and bounty of Christmas, there still doesn't seem to be enough to go around. This year, make a place on your list and in your heart for a child you don't even know. Donate a new unwrapped toy to the Marine Corps Reserve, Toys for Tots.
Talking back to the latest sex survey conducted by Complete Woman magazine. Bonnie Kruger is editor-in-chief of the magazine, and therapist Carolyn Bouchon helped complete the survey. Comedian Carrie Snow, humorist Kathy Crimmins, and writer Autumn Stevens say that the results may be a little skewy. Okay, sexual fantasies. Joey, show us who we say we have fantasies about. The real women say number 10 is Garth Brooks, 9 is Prince. Okay. 8 is Katie Lang.
And these are women.
These are women.
These are women?
This is a
Katie
woman.
Lang has been constant craving?
That's right.
What's going on here? I mean, okay, in your survey, what percentage of the women have fantasies involving other women? 21%.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Now, these are all heterosexual women. They've all said we are heterosexual women. And some of the women said, I don't know why I have these fantasies. I would never act on them. It confuses me. And what it's about, I mean, I assume you
help better than a German shepherd.
Yeah, talk to them. What it's about is that a lot of women are with very macho, chauvinistic kind of men, and they can't imagine having soft, warm sex with their mates. So when they fantasize about soft, warm, touching sex, all they can think of is doing that with a woman.
Okay. Is this a castration fantasy, then?
Some of them are castration fantasies. Some of them have to do with a woman being so angry at men in her life that at least in her fantasies she doesn't have to deal with them.
That's right.
Okay, they identify themselves as heterosexual.
Yes,
they are.
But they're fantasizing about something else.
They're fantasizing about just women, or they're fantasizing about women and men, or group sex.
It's a fantasy.
And sometimes, in fact, a couple of them had to do with the woman saying, I would like to see my boyfriend watch me handle a gorgeous blonde in a bar.
See, that makes me kind of feel like I want to take a shower right now.
Do you think that this is accurate for the real women that you know, 21%?
It seems high to me, but maybe I'm just hopelessly heterosexual. I don't know what to say.
Nice alliteration. I like that about you. I don't think so, and I don't think Freud would say so. I think Freud would say that, you know, his whole polymorphous perversity, I can alliterate it too, I can't say it, but I can do it, that everyone has those tendencies, and you just are sort of more towards one end or another end of a continuum.
Okay, let's look at the rest of the celebrity list and see who else they were fantasizing about. That's G, Joey. 7 was Julio Iglesias. 6 was Patrick Swayze. 5 was Denzel Washington. 4 was Billy Ray Cyrus. I guess they just wanted to mend his achy, breaky heart.
That's right.
3 was Mel Gibson. 2 was Mickey Rourke.
Tough luck.
You like Mickey Rourke?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever fantasize about it?
Thank you, though. Maybe that would be
when he was 9.5 weeks.
Oh, it's the 9.5 weeks that they're fantasizing about.
That's right.
And one was Michael Bolton.
Oh, now I know this is bogus. Because Michael Bolton is gross, and he cares about his own hair much too much.
We
have a great letter.
We had the best fantasy about Michael Bolton that came in, and we didn't print it because it was too long, and I'm not going to read it because it was too long, but this woman who was a hairdresser in Connecticut, that's all we had about her, wrote this. I didn't edit a word out of it. She did it so beautifully. They went into a restaurant. She went into the bathroom.
She fixed his hair.
She fixes her hair. She comes back to the table. Michael isn't there.
Did she trim all his icky ends off of his hair?
No, she fixed her hair. She's sitting at the table. She can't find Michael, and she feels something under the table. And she goes detail by detail, very, very seductively about him touching her legs and her... and moving up. Anyway, but I got
he's not such a bad guy.
But I have to tell you the climax of the story. No, I knew you wouldn't like that. No, I have to tell you, then she is sitting there, and she is finished, so to speak, and she looks around the room looking for Michael again, and he's sitting over there, smiling with those steely blue eyes or whatever, knowingly.
Oh. I just kind of got a chill, though. I have to admit that.
You know what?
I want a guy to know what he's done.
I know. I pulled that one out, and I called all my girlfriends and read it to every one of them, turned every one of them on.
Maybe
yes,
that one? Okay.
Okay, well, who would it be, Carrie, instead of Michael Bolton for you?
I don't really conjure up celebrities. I just, you know, mine's more reality-based, sort of a greatest hits kind of a thing. But I do have a friend who many years ago was with 2 straight guys in a hot tub. And it's never really been able to leave. Well, I don't even think her circuits really have plugged back in. You know what I mean? She was a really smart girl, and she just sort of wanders around aimlessly now. And
a lot of women fantasized about menage a trois.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had a question.
Had his hand up for so long.
It wasn't really a question. It was about the orgasm. The reason a lot of women fake orgasm is because men fake foreplay.
Oh.
Good point.
Stand up for me, please.
I was just wondering about the use of music in the act and whether it's generally favorable or unfavorable or just some of your opinions.
I think it's nice, but I don't think you should sing along.
Did you get anybody talking about setting the mood with music or what have you?
Somewhat, but we had more questions like, what sexual toys do you use?
Okay. We're going to talk about those things and the ways women light his fire and keep the fire hot right when we come back.
Imagine a festive setting filled with all the sights and sounds that bring Christmas of yesteryear alive. Come stroll through over 200 booths of handcrafted wares, fine art, and gourmet foods. Experience the 4th annual Christmas Memories in the Tri-Cities Coliseum, November 12th through the 14th. Pick up your $1 off coupons for the one-time admission charge at local Price Choppers and Sunmarts. Come as often as you want. The parking's free. Christmas Memories, November 12th through the 14th. Don't miss it.
At Cafe Pasquale's in Santa Fe, they line up early for breakfast burritos and CBS This Morning with Harry Smith, Paula Zahn, and Mark McEwen's weather. So if you're looking for good food and a great deal on your money, come on by. Folks around here know a good breakfast when they see one. CBS This Morning, breakfast for your head.
The annual Yakima Valley Holiday Fest in the Sundome. It's a shopper's paradise. Come discover a treasure trove of holiday gifts from the Pacific Northwest and beyond. More than 200 decorated booths feature gifts for everyone on your list. Sign up to win this turn-of-the-century dollhouse plus $50 worth of furnishings. Balloon sculptures, holiday music, and a spectacular Christmas tree add to the magic. Shop the Holiday Fest in the Sundome, November 12th, 13th, and 14th, and get a jump on the holidays.
It's the St. Joseph Grade School Yard Sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 2802 Main Street, Union Gap. Your donated items gladly accepted. See you there.
For years, I was tortured by fears of being contaminated by touching everyday objects. I was so afraid of being dirty that I washed my hands 40 to 50 times a day, every day.
I got up constantly during the night, obsessed by the thought that I had failed to lock the doors and windows. I checked and rechecked them over and over again until morning.
I couldn't pass a building without counting its windows. In the bathroom, I had a compulsion to count the tiles on the floor and walls.
Jackie, Michael, and Charles are among the more than 4 million Americans who may suffer, often in shame and secrecy, from the effects of obsessive-compulsive disorder. If OCD is affecting you or someone you know, call the Obsessive Compulsive Foundation at 1-800-999-4849. Treatments are available.
We're talking back to sex surveys, and we found out from the sex survey what women use to turn on their men. And, Joe, if you can show me that, it's Jay. Other techniques women use to turn on their lovers, 30% stimulate him by stroking or touching, 21% stimulate a man by kissing, and 14% by talking dirty. Now, I always, this is interesting
What,
because
like take out the garbage or pick up your clothes?
I always find these things interesting because they always ask the women what they do for men, and you can't miss the show tomorrow because tomorrow's show we're going to have the men talking back to the sex surveys. But I'm always interested in knowing what the women do for themselves to turn themselves on or to turn on, the men do to turn on, you know what I'm trying to say. So in your survey, you asked the women a very interesting question. It's K for me, Joey. What percentage of women watch sex videos? 67% said that they watch sex videos.
Right.
That seemed high to me. Was that a surprise to you?
It wasn't in the beginning until they listed them. Many of our readers prefer the soft porn kind of stuff. It's like 9.5 weeks.
They showed it on TV recently, and I told people it took 9.5 minutes. What did they show on television?
So when you look at what they said, what they wrote in was they wish there were more
They
soft
wish there were
porn
more. There's definitely a
kinds of
market
things.
for
They
it.
don't like the really hardcore.
My very best friend said her favorite part of 9.5 weeks was when he told her she didn't have to cook or clean or do housework. You know? That's when she moaned audibly in a movie theater.
Do you watch it?
My husband likes them, and I find them really boring because the men are really ugly, and it seems like they're cast for their penises, and then they come attached to them. You know?
I didn't know we could say the P word.
Say the P word.
They're not very choosy when they pick the men for those
Right,
movies.
exactly.
They're not choosy when they pick the men?
You don't want the icky men watching you.
No, you look like normal middle America. How many of these have you seen?
Oh, I've seen maybe a dozen or so. How many watching your show? How many do you own?
How many do you own? Right.
Do you own them?
No, but there's one that I want to that I heard about that was produced by a woman in Northern California, and she's like a little bit older, like me, and he's a little bit younger, like I like. And I think there's like, you know, he's naked and there's a tool belt involved. I don't know, but I heard it was like really nice though, and she got like a lot of, and they made it sort of on a lark, and it's gotten a lot of play. I want to buy it, and if the person is out there watching, I would be your spokesmodel for the video.
I've heard that gay porno is much nicer for straight women because the men are better looking in the porno films.
Yeah, but they like each other better, and you're all dressed up and no place to go.
I don't get how that works because I think women like to see women in the films, and if it's just two guys, how are you going to get into that? On the other hand, you don't want to see a film with a woman who has a better body than you. So I don't know who these 67% of these women are, but I hope I don't know them.
By the way, a lot of the women enjoyed watching women together, too, which was surprising and ties in with the fantasy part that we talked about.
Settle down. Settle down.
Well, the percentages said that they watched them. Did you ask them how often?
No, we did not.
Okay, yes.
We're just wondering what type of readership this magazine caters to, because these questions and the results are kind of weird.
You know, how do you mean weird?
Seem normal to me, and I feel like I'm a normal woman. Excuse me, I think one of the things is that our reader's a little bit older. She is 29 years old. She comes from all walks of life. Because we were a print survey, and we are a print survey, a lot of times people feel they're a little freer in expressing some things that they might not if you have a mic in front of you. And I think that was kind of the response. You know, sometimes it's interesting to see what happens.
I think some women even used it to brag.
To brag, right.
You get the feeling that they were like, you bet I'm going to...
Do you think they're fantasized?
I think somewhat. I can't agree with the results.
Like which one?
In particular. Which one?
Okay, about the orgasms that they're faking. Do you think that most of them are?
That one wasn't too bad, but one of the first...
Okay, about fantasizing about other women. Do you think they are?
I think that's high. I don't know.
21% you think it's high?
Yeah.
It's kind of out there, but what kind of readers do you have? It's a good question.
They come from all walks of life, and they are older. They're women. They're not girls. And many of the surveys that you look at are younger girls. They're like 18 to 24, and our woman is a lot older. We have a lot of divorce readers, maybe 45% or higher. And again, when we asked about the fantasy and the woman fantasy, it was 21%, but they didn't say they were doing it all the time. They maybe once. Maybe the man broke up with them, and maybe she hates men, you know, and it's once. And
okay. If you could change one thing about your sex life, what would it be? The results will surprise you. We're going to talk about it in a bit.
Watch for daily Washington State Lottery drawings now at these times. And good luck from KIMA, your official Washington State Lottery station. Who beats a Han deal?
Nobody.
2 Mondays, Steve Hahn's Performance VW Audi Suzuki 52-hour Honda-thon.
Our best offers in 69 years, because we're out to win the challenge.
Monday, all new Han vehicles up to $10,000 off. New 94 starting at $59.90. Four-door 4x4s, $12,990. Free used vehicle up to $9,000 off. Buy with just $69 down. 52-hour Honda-thon. Right now through Monday only at Steve Hahn's Performance VW Audi Suzuki.
Whitfield Pellet Stoves, the world's first, the world's finest, exclusively from Inland Awning Stove and Fireplace Center. Whitfield Pellet Stoves and inserts are designed to provide affordable, reliable, superior efficient home heating with little effort and a minimum affinity effect on our environment. At Inland Awning, we'll show you Whitfield's convenient top-loading hopper, automatic feed system, easy-to-use precision burn control panel, give you multiple color choices, even a unique bay view window model. Come see year-round live burning demonstrations of the world's first and finest pellet stove, Whitfield at Inland Awning Stove and Fireplace Center.
Bringing friends and family together. The Party Palace.
My sister's depression was a serious illness. I found out that people suffering from serious depression need their family and friends to step in before the pain gets worse. Treatment was effective and began to work within a few weeks. For free material, call 1-800-421-4211. That's 1-800-421-4211.
On the next Crusaders, for many with leukemia, their last hope is a bone marrow transplant. The chances of finding a perfect match are very small, and if they're a minority, the odds are even worse.
It can go anywhere from 1 in 20,000 up to 1 in 600 million.
Facing a desperate need to recruit donors, the Crusaders take on a system that's leaving thousands without hope.
I believe in miracles.
The Crusaders. Now there's someone on your side.
It's all right here, Saturday at 5 on KIMA.
Freaky on the show tomorrow on the Bertice Berry Show.
Okay, the real women are responding to the sex survey. Carolyn, you said you had another reason why they may seem skewed.
You know, these are women, like she and I were discussing, women who were wanting to talk about cooking, or cooks would respond to a cooking survey.
Right.
These are women who are focused on sex. These are women who really, sex is very, very important to them. And in fact, one of the shocking things to me was the masturbation issue, which we're not going to really talk about today. But some of the, my computer lady called me and said, how far do we go with this? Some women are saying they masturbate 5 times a day, and I'm like, get a life.
Oh, the issue that we're not going to talk about.
I think their life interferes with that.